correct in
Yep.
thinking that?
Yeah, you're right.
So we can actually change all of them at once. Do you know what binding off the top of your head that Elevate 7.7
Probably.
does use?
It's probably a 4.5, or with those it's probably a 7. But
There's two of them. There's one for 7 for the kids and one, 7 for the adults and 4.5 for the kids.
Okay, these lengths are all
Various from, yeah.
yeah,
53.
So those are going to be the bigger ones.
I would guess like right around,
Yep.
if I remember correctly, right around 120 to 130 is where it switches from a 4.5 to a 7.0 typically.
Sounds
Yep.
right.
Are these all?
They should be adults.
No,
juniors?
That should be the 7.0. Like the
7.0s are juniors. They're not adults.
the
Yeah.
4.5 isn't the 4.5
It's like for
4.5
little
is
for kids.
lighter juniors.
Yeah,
So, yeah, the
That-
7.0
I only
sounds
have
right.
I only have two. I only have the 4.5 and the 7.
But they're all juniors. Those
Yeah.
are all
Yeah,
juniors.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm assuming this is
Yeah.
kind of like your tweener ski for those
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bean pulled 12 to 13-year-olds
Yeah,
who have
it's-
sprouted up but haven't
Yeah, that's
really
fine.
gained any bulk.
It's not too
Yeah,
crazy. It's not too. I mean, as
Sounds
long as
right.
it's in there, it's not like. Yeah, I get it.
And then another one that's easy to knock out is we've got all these Experience 76. If I were to guess, these are basic skis. I'm assuming that is something along the lines of the Express 10.
Yes.
Is that correct? Or is it the Express 11?
It varies, but most of them are Express 10s.
Okay.
Okay.
So super easy to pick off some of those bigger ones. What we'll want to do is go through the rest of this list. You guys know your fleet better than I do. I just kind of went for the low-hanging fruit there, if you will. But you can even track them down by article code if you want. But just update this information. Once this information is updated, we can go in and test new ski plus preseason. And this button that cuts off on the end is supposed to say generate list of products to be tested. What's going to happen if I click this button is it's going to throw this error. Necessary characteristics are missing from the rental article. So that's what we're doing with the check stock of data is eliminating this error. Once you hit check stock of data, nothing is generated. You won't see this error, and we can start this test. Now, if we've tested everything in the fleet already, there's a really easy way to go through and just mark everything as tested on a new sheet. And this is what a lot of our shops do that don't have a binding tester, and they're still using that Vermont manual test arm. So this one is closed. But I'm going to use it as my example is you can actually right-click and put in manual input of test result. And furthermore, you can actually shift-click and highlight the entire list, or even go like Control-A and highlight every single option, hit manual input. It's not going to let me do it because it's a closed test. But you can highlight multiple at the same time and do a manual input of test result. So the difference between that and, say, one of these, if we go to details of test result, the machine is actually sending you the very, very detailed, it's showing us exactly how many Newton meters it took of pressure to pop that binding, which is super, super, airtight. But a lot of shops just use essentially this, which is you're just basically putting in result okay. From personal experience, I did all of Christie Sports front range ski locations binding test for 3 seasons over the summer, which is about 10 to 15,000 units. And we did that on paper with a Vermont binding tester. Just that little arm. And all we did was result okay. And that was good enough for our insurers at the time. I do always recommend, I'm not versed in law of ski bindings. Talk to your insurer, talk to your lawyer if you're concerned about how ironclad this would be in litigation. But I do know from personal experience that was good enough for us at Christie Sports, and there were several litigations involving bindings in my time at that company, and all were deemed to be skier was at fault and not the binding. So, that's just a little anecdote from what I've done in the ski industry. But again, I will always defer to your insurance agent on whether or not that's going to be good enough for them.
Okay. All right, so I guess we just
Does that make sense?
that,
Any
that just
questions
saved our
about
asses.
everything I showed you?
Absolutely. That's good.
Is there any thing beyond that we need to save for the data to download or upload or save? Or I mean, once we hit okay,
No,
it's all
but
good.
Once you start doing it, I always like to do maybe 2 right off the bat, and then what I do, because I don't know, I work in tech, so I don't trust computers further than I can throw them.
Yep.
Is I'll come in and I'll pull up, whatever ski, you can just scan that article code and pull it up in the list, and I just like to verify that I can see those test results. You should see every time you test a ski, this field should increase by 2, because the number of units is actually your skis plus your bindings. Each unit is 2 units, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, I always just like to check my work just to make sure. And if you're not seeing a test result that you've just done, give me a call, because we can troubleshoot that connection and make sure it's up and running. But other than that, you should be able to, once you get like 2 good results, just start testing, rock and roll. Shouldn't be any problems from there.
Great.
Awesome. You got that?
Yeah.
And we got it on